Darren Dobson.
Nice to meet you, Darren.
So, I'm not sure what this is, but can you explain what this solar wall is?
Sure. So, solar wall air heating system is essentially you've got a perforated steel wall. The theory behind it is very, very simple. You've got a perforated steel wall facing south, sealed around the bottom, top, and sides, and it connects to the fresh air makeup supply for the building. The simplest way to describe that is by a fresh air makeup unit located on a rooftop. So you've got a solar wall system here, and then it's connected by insulated ducting, and the solar wall actually becomes the intake for the fresh air makeup supply. Okay. The entire south wall of the building is now the intake for your fresh air makeup unit. Okay. And the benefit of that is that take your typical winter's day, it's minus 10 degrees outside. In a regular situation, this fresh air makeup unit will be pulling in minus 10 degrees. There's a burner inside that unit which then cranks up the heat and turns it into 20-degree temperature delivered into the building. The solar wall system here, the heat's going to get picked up from the solar wall itself, delivered at plus 10 instead of minus 10, and now you only have to make up 10 degrees as opposed to 30 degrees difference, and there's the savings.
So it's less energy?
Less energy used, exactly.
So have you done studies where there's an actual payback, like how long it takes to pay back? So what would be the average?
So we've been in existence for 30-some years. We've done installs in 35 countries across the globe, on all 7 continents, including Antarctica. And so based on a lot of empirical evidence, typical payback period there's 2 divisions. There's retrofit and new construction. So retrofit, the cost of the solar wall is what it is because it's an add-on to the building. So typically your payback's in about the 20% range. So you get 20% on your money for 40 years. So that's how long the wall lasts. So you got a kind of a 5-year, 6-year payback.
That's very good.
For new construction, the majority of the cost, sometimes all the cost, is absorbed by the fact you got to put a wall there anyways. So put this wall or put any other wall, it's got a cost. A lot of the time solar wall is less expensive than what would have gone there to begin with. So in that sense, the payback is usually anywhere from immediate to 2 years or something like that for a new construction type situation.
Is there any maintenance issues or?
No, nothing.
So how long is it supposed to last?
It lasts as long as a wall. So it lasts a 40-year warranty on the finish. So typical 40 to 50-year lifespan. We build 50-year post-disaster buildings, and we go on.
And obviously, I guess most of it's commercial, industrial, something like that. Would it be applicable to any residential at all?
On the screen there, you'll see a lot of high-rise multi-residential, but that would be the only residential that it would be applicable to. So, again, we're dealing with a building that has a dedicated fresh air makeup supply.
Sure.
So, on a regular home, you're not going to see anything. There's some newer homes have that, but nothing to the scale that would warrant an installation like this.
So the solar wall has been around for a long time, 30 years, or?
Yeah, 30 years.
Conservo engineering's been around for the same?
Yeah. Well, Conservo has been around since the mid-70s. First solar wall went up in Oakville in the late 80s.
Also, it's been well proven, well documented.
Yeah.
Third-party verification as well.
We've been, so Enercan has got it on a bunch of their buildings, CanMed buildings. In the U.S., NREL has got it on their building. These are all the highest authorities on energy savings. The U.S. military is our biggest client. They rated it as in the top 2% of energy-related inventions. They've been verified by third parties all over the place, in England, in Europe, in China, and we're going on the Beijing Olympic Village. We're there. We've got a lot of verifications.
Now, all these countries, are you the only one that sells it in the world? And why don't other people just copy it? Is there a patent or a copyright?
Patent. So there's been a patent in place in North America that just expired. European patents are still in existence. But I mean, the main reason why the people are doing this is we're the global leaders. So if you want to get this in France, you go to us. You want to get this in Turkey, you go to us. You want to get this in Poland, you go to us.
So do you have different manufacturing and distributors around the world.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's good. So even if someone wanted to compete, you could always compete on price anyways because you're the direct manufacturer.
Complete on price, but expertise. It's not. There's a lot more to a solar wall than poking holes in the metal and slapping it up. You've got issues. You've got mechanical issues. It's got to be designed for the building. You have to make a perforation here, pull at the same rate as one here as one that's 15 floors down the building, and you have to make sure that there's not undue static on that fan, because then you're going to burn out your air handler. There's a lot of considerations. It's pretty easy to put holes in metal and stick it up on a wall, but it's not going to work. You'll have airflow from here, and then this will be dead. You know, so for instance, when we're designing a system, we design a plenum. So the wall sits behind on a plenum. There's a frame that exists there, which varies in size and depth depending, and also layout depending on how you want to channel the air. Perforations themselves, they vary in size and pattern. Depending, again, it's custom for every building, depending always to the mechanical. So we're always talking to the mechanical contractor or mechanical designer and making sure that that our design matches their equipment.
So you guys would come in at the designing stage with an architect.
Yeah, we're kind of we really need that charrette situation. I mean, we need to sit with the architect. We need to sit with the mechanical design. I mean, site plan has. I mean, we can go all the way back and go right to that. But typically, we're going to work closely with the mechanical contractor, or mechanical designer, and then the contractor later, and then the architect.
Your main hub is in Ontario. You've done more sales in Canada, or you've done more sales in the US, or where?
Our international head office is Toronto. So the company was born in Toronto. Like I said, our first project was Oakville. So Canada's run out of Toronto. We've got representation in, I don't know, 4 or 5 provinces as well, but it all starts here. And we have a U.S. office in Buffalo, but they're very dependent on Toronto as well. So Toronto runs North America, and then Europe and Asia runs primarily out of Paris, France.
Very good. It's smart to have a Buffalo office. That a lot of Canadians do. So if they say buy American, they buy American.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
I know. My other clients do that too.
Yeah.
So what would be a typical cost thing? But the return is good. So it's just the energy. So cost, say for 6-story building, one wall, exterior.
6-story, okay, 6.
Just I'm trying to wonder how.
Yeah.
Is it a $10 million thing?
Yeah,
or
no, it's not very expensive. Again, it's low cost, right?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So for a 6-story building, 60 feet, let's say it's 50 feet across, so 60 times 50, so 3,000, probably 65, 70 grand.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
And you're going from conception, so the payback would be a lot quicker, like 2 years. So
yeah, I mean, if you're going from conception, it could be zero, right?
Right.
I mean, the cost is it's not all that much. You put a wall there anyways, so you take out your nice, whatever you had up there, precast panel, whatever, put some studs in its place, light gauge liner, your insulation, and us, you're there. So the nice thing too is when it comes to insulation.
Yeah.
So picture this, you've got your air traveling through the wall, picks up the heat, delivers it to the building. Same thing happens with heat loss. So you've got your core wall is here to the building. You're going to lose that heat. But the same draw that's going to pull in the heated air is going to pull back any heat loss. So that heat actually gets added to the inbound stream, and the effect of it is essentially an internal insulation valve on that building. Now, when they built Red Screen, they put a value of R50 to that, but it's essentially, I mean, R50 is pretty much R infinity. When the system's operating, you're always going to have sort of an infinite insulation value in this portion.
Now, how difficult is selling this to major companies? Is it an easy sell? Is it like
major companies of what sort?
Like if they're building buildings, all these head offices and stuff like that, and everybody's trying to go green and retrofit like that.
Yeah.
Is it an easy? Is the company just get calls all the time, or how difficult is the sales cycle?
Sales
such
cycle,
a good product?
Yeah, sales cycle is. Well, any sales cycle has got its. You've got a bunch of decision stages, and at any time, any decision can get postponed or budget can be
to retrofit
over.
It's postponed for sure.
Anything can happen. But basically, what we offer is incredibly fast payback for a renewable energy system. maintenance free for 40, 50 years, however long the wall lasts, and it's dramatic. So he sits there and everybody knows you did it. I was talking to the mayor of Halifax, which is called Solar City now. They've got a Solar City program, and he said, and it's solar hot water they're using, which is good. It's got like an 8-year, 9-year payback, right? Not as good, not as good as some other things. It's pretty good. And I said, so why'd you pick that? And he said, well, I can't call it Silicon Caulking City, which is going to give me a 18-month payback. Solar is dramatic. Everybody can see it. So for us, there's a lot of ways companies can spend their money. A lot of ways companies can get a 2-3 year payback. They can build another widget manufacturing thing in their factory and probably get 6-month payback. But our system is very dramatic. Everybody sees it. Everybody knows what they did. They can talk about it at cocktail parties. It's something that their company is doing as opposed to something their company is.
So do you work with so you market yourself, I guess, to big corporations, a lot of construction companies, architects, and you're just spreading the word and hopefully you track it.
Yeah, I mean,
you try to get it when your village new rather than retrofitting because everybody needs big money.
Yeah, we do a lot of, we do probably 50-50 retrofit versus new. We do a lot of retrofits, municipal projects like schools, social housing, these types of things. If your building needs a reclad, here you go, right?
Do you have a leasing program? Because governments and school boards don't have any money. But with the savings, is there a leasing program they can pay back?
We've toyed with it, but it's relatively low cost. So, and to quantify energy savings is sometimes can be difficult. I assume when you say leasing, something built upon the energy savings.
Like say, for example, something cost $100,000 to implement. Well, the school board says, well, we have 30 buildings, or 30 times 100,000 is a lot of money. We're already losing money. You say, don't worry, we have a leasing program.
Yeah, we can finance it. Yeah. If you want to put financing in place. But we work with architects. They like us because we're cheap lead,
Yeah, this qualifies for lead, right?
Yeah, of course. So
beautiful. Oh yeah, and what would be your website's not in there? What is your website?
Oh, easy. www.solarwall.com.
Excellent. Cool. I appreciate your time.